about that, guys. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we are back with you now. If you've got any more questions about the bats, feel free to ask. Those questions are being passed on to me. And we've also got another Children's Zoo staff member here that's talking about another nocturnal animal.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Lisa, as you saw before, and welcome to, this is a Madagascar Tenrec species. Her name is Nine-reck, and she is a small insectivore. She is going to turn 10 years old on the 29th of April. So these guys can actually live until about 13 years in captivity. In the wild, it's more like 9 or so. So she's doing really well here, and you can see she is moving very quickly right now. She just got out of what we call torpor. It's kind of like a hibernation of sorts. In the winter, they kind of slow down like a bear does, and they don't want to eat anything. But right now, she's all warm and ready to go. And one of her favorite foods is this mealworm right here. And like I said, they are insectivores, so what they like to do is eat these guys. They like to eat silkworms here, crickets.
Can you explain the station area, Lisa, that you're doing with her right now?
So right now, this is a choice box, this entire thing. It means that the animal has a choice on whether or not it wants to participate in training with us here. So this little station is a great way for her to participate in her own training. And she comes over and sits on the station when she's called, and she gets a treat for it. It's a form of positive reinforcement that we have here. So, a great question from Jackie, are they a type of hedgehog? Actually, a lot of people would say that about this animal. They look a lot like a hedgehog. They are not related to a hedgehog at all. Their closest living relative is actually the elephant, which is crazy. But if you look at them very closely, you can kind of see their nose wiggles a lot, and they have some tiny elephant-like features. And she is just buzzing all around this little exhibit.
Where are they native to, Lisa?
They are native to Madagascar, and you can see when she's walking around like this, she is not using her eyes. You can see that she's being guided by her nose. And Julie asked, can they see very well? No, not really. Their sense of sight is not really necessary because they're out in the dark. That is when they're most active. Except when there's food present, as you can see. Here we go, babe. And yeah, so she is, you can tell that she's kind of using her sense of smell and her sense of hearing to find her food. So that's why we tap on this little station here for her. That's her cue to come and get food. And you can see how large her ears are. She uses those ears a lot when she's trying to find her food in the wild. How many babies can they have from Sherry? They can have up to 10, actually. Usually it's more like 5 to 7, and they're pregnant for about 60 days, so about 2 months. And so her mate, his name is Jonah, and we named him after one of our partners, Jonah, Dr. Jonah. So we want to shout out to him. He's doing all the good works in the wild still. Bethany says, do they live underground? They are not really big diggers. They will dig a little bit, and they kind of nest in grassy areas. They'll kind of build their own little nest. They dig a little though. So she's just, I can talk about their spines real quick. They look a lot like hedgehogs because of those spines. Hedgehogs also have spines. Trang asks, do they make good pets? These guys are from Madagascar, so they're kind of rare. Here at the Houston Zoo, we take really good care of our animals, and we have a lot of tools to do so. So it might be tough in your own home to do that. But here we give these guys lots of enrichment, lots of love, lots of training, and it is hard work. Rachel asked, how can you help save these animals in the wild? That's a great question. That is a great question, Raquel. These guys are from Madagascar. One thing you can do, Madagascar has depleting forests right now. So one thing you could do is to help with the reduction of paper waste. And we could recycle paper, we can recycle cardboard. These guys are actually, Jill asks, are they endangered? No, they are not. They are actually just vulnerable. But keep in mind that in Madagascar, their habitat is being depleted. So we do want to focus on helping them out, because if they start disappearing, some of our other animals will start to disappear as well. But like I said, you guys can help just at home by recycling paper. You can, there she goes under her station. She is a good digger. Look at her. Look at her go. Ariana asked, do they have predators? Yes. These guys have a mammal predator called a fossa on the Madagascar Islands. You guys might know of them. They are a very unique animal. They are the largest living mammal on Madagascar. But anything that's larger than this Tenrec could potentially get to it. But you know what's great about her is she has those spines for a reason, for protection. So if she's attacked, she can ball right up and present those spines and kind of keep those predators at bay, because those spines will hurt their mouths. She's digging so far.
How much does she weigh, Lisa?
She weighs in grams. Danielle, do you have a quote on how much she weighs? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, close to 100, I would say, probably. Lisa asked, hi Lisa, I'm also Lisa. How long can they live? That's a great question. She is, like I said, she's turning 10 on April 29th. They can live to be about 13 years old in captivity and about 9 or so in the wild. And she's just having a good old time in here. I ran out of mealworms for her because she is so energetic right now. Kim asked, does she ball up? She sure does. One of her defense mechanisms is to ball up into spines, and you can kind of see how sharp they are. And I could touch her right here. She is a touchable animal. Like I said, she wants to participate in her own training on this side. She has a choice to do so. She knows that this side of the enclosure is where she can safely be touched. She's also a climber. These guys are climbers. And so when this happens, we just place her gently back down. She is a little gymnast today. Katie says, can they run fast? They can run pretty fast. You can see that she is moving around pretty quickly. If she was really trying to get away from something or go somewhere, she would be much quicker than this. If she was in a field or something. She is being very silly. Hi, escape artist. All right, and Andrea says, does she have toys? Absolutely, we give her lots of toys. In fact, this whole enclosure right here is kind of a little bit of a toy for her. That's enrichment. And enrichment is we add anything to her environment that might stimulate her. So we actually put her in this box, and what she started to do is to anoint herself in the sand. So that's one of her favorite toys, is sand and substrate, stuff like that. We also give her other things like balls. Right now we want to shout out to Milo, who turns 4. And you get this little sneak peek of Nine-reck, who is just being so acrobatic today. Happy birthday, Milo. I hope you liked seeing Nine-reck. Kim asks, do they have different colors? So these guys are mostly the same, this white color here. Jonah is a little bit darker. He has darker spines. You can kind of see how light hers are around here. He has darker spines underneath, so that's how you can tell them apart. He's also a bit smaller than she is. Liz says, can they climb high? They sure can. You can kind of see it right now. She's climbing right up the walls of her little choice box. In her exhibit, sometimes we'll find them very high because they're in a wire mesh. So we've seen them climb up the edges of those. Don't worry, they have very sure footing. And yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up here right now. Since she is so active right now, we're gonna have to take her back home. Does anybody have, yes, and I just wanted to remind all of y'all about how we are still here working for these animals, and we would love your help at taking care of these kids. We have an emergency zoo fund. If you go to our webpage, it is up on that webpage. And we are so proud to be here and still working with these guys and to helping save animals in the wild. This is Nine-reck. She is a Tenrec, Madagascar Tenrec. And I hope y'all have a great day.
Hi, you guys. It's Suzanne again. I am so sorry that we had technical difficulties and the bats didn't really get the kind of love and attention that they deserve today. But part of that is because we were in a cave. There's not very good service in there. So if you have questions about our bats and what we do with our bats and how we're working to use the proper PPE while working with these bats, please send those questions in and we will be happy to answer them. Now, one of the things that I want to remind everyone of is that we are having an Earth Week challenge. Now, the challenge for today is conserve energy. You can post information about how you are conserving energy, and there's going to be a drawing. Somebody is going to win a zoo membership out of these challenges. That's going to be a pretty exciting deal. Now, I want you to also remember that we are doing these Facebook Lives every weekday at 11 o'clock. So tune in tomorrow. There's going to be another amazing animal and more amazing zoo staff that are going to be bringing the zoo to you while you can't come here and be with us.